So for the people who listen to my show and to your show, and for the people who care about the country, about the life of the unborn, about liberty writ large, the true meaning of liberty, which is the wise restraints that make men free, how do they fight back when they don't have their hands on the reins of political power, right? They're not able to just initiate systemic change. But, do they just stop shopping at Starbucks because Starbucks funds wokeism? I mean, practically, how do we fight back in these cultural wars when many people are feeling disgruntled even with the political system because they don't think that our president was fairly elected in the first place? Yeah. Do you have any ideas on maybe how American citizens could fight back?
Got a few, yeah. I get asked this a lot, and I also hear other similar speakers get asked this a lot. We have a fired up base of people that are virtuous people that believe in the truth, that want, okay, I get it, I'm in. What is my next step? And so, I'm sure we can talk about this a little more as the show goes on. But I started a company with some of my closest friends this winter, actually, called Public Square. And Public Square exists to solve the answer of what do I do now? The heart behind it really is that we'd recognize that all politics are local, and that if you want to make a change in your community, if you want to feel activated to fight for the issues you care about, it all starts in your backyard. It has to. So I started a company called Public Square that essentially connects conservatives on a local level with the people in their area that see the world the way that they do, and gives them a forum to chat, to engage unto something, connection unto something. That you wouldn't just be connected for sort of an endless zombified scroll of a feed, but you'd be connected to learn what's going on in your area that can help you make a stand for your values. You'd never have an excuse for being inactive. We have another component of the app called The Fountain. It's basically an encyclopedia of resources, 300 plus resources, about 70 different topics updated twice a month, fact-based, research-oriented, related to everything from critical race theory, the pro-life issue, tax policy, immigration, Israel-Palestine, our relationship with Canada, our relationship with Mexico, everything under the sun we talk about so that you can be equipped with knowledge so that when you are active, you know what you're doing. Yeah. And then the third component is our marketplace, and this is what you just touched on, which is that we actually have a real desire that people would change the way that they spend their money. The best way that we can move the market is by moving the market. The best way we can move the needle in society at large is by telling these major corporations that have made their political leanings very, very clear and cater to a minority of the country, by the way, because liberals, self-professing liberals, according to Gallup in 2019, are only 24% of the country. 37% of the United States is conservative, self-identified, and 35% is moderate. So the majority of Americans are tired of woke corporatism, and yet they keep going that way because we haven't fought back. We haven't played offense. And so what Public Square will do is tell you the 15 coffee shops in your area that support your values, and then give you discounted incentives to go shop there. Coffee shops, restaurants, hotels, golf courses, amusement parks, laundromats.
Wow. Yeah, now, say that again for our listeners. So they jump on this platform, this app, this website.
Yep, it's free.
And they can immediately identify businesses across different markets. That are saying, we don't hate your guts, we don't fund wokeism, we don't fund critical race theory, we don't like abortion.
Amen.
And that incentivizes the buyer to go there. And you know that these people are incentivized enough to change their purchasing habits. How?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've done a lot of research in starting this. The backstory is that I with my podcast, Refining Politics and Culture, I had the real honor to grow a nationwide audience and get to hear from people in communities around the country that would reach out and say, I feel alone, disconnected from community, feel like I don't know who my people are. I feel like I'm misinformed if I watch the news, and I'm uninformed if I don't. So what are my options here? And then the third piece is I want to spend money in alignment with my values, but I feel like the marketplace has turned against me. You watch the Super Bowl for 3.5 hours, and it's a bunch of companies basically making fun of conservatism and traditional values. And so you log onto the app, and it's an entirely free experience, no in-app purchases, and you'll actually, with your zip code, be opened up to a world, a marketplace, a public square around you filled with companies solely that support your values.
Wonderful.
That actually have said, you know what, I'm willing to say no to sort of woke corporatism. I'm willing to say we do love America and we are common sense oriented.
That's wonderful.
We have businesses that are flying the flag out the door, American flag, hoorah, rah, really excited about that. We also have businesses that have said, you know what, I'm not even super political, but I'm certainly not donating to Planned Parenthood. And I want your consumers to know that I value them and I value their business.
That's awesome. Come on.
We ran a lot of market research that found that we asked back in March 2 questions to our nationwide survey. The first was, how many of you are willing to spend 10% more to shop in alignment with your values? And how many of you are willing to drive 10 minutes farther to shop in alignment with your values, and 98% of our respondents said yes. And we were
Wow.
like, there's something here.
There's
So what if we can
obviously,
give them discounts to go to those places
Yeah.
and make it easy because it's local?
Yeah, and
So-
you're building a community, you're connecting
amen.
like-minded individuals.